ukimedumali, I think. And the Alter Rebbe is getting now back to the issue, right? It says in the name of the Baal Shem Tov, on the Maimer Hazayed, Kol HaKeis Ki Lavei Dezar, if you get angry like you're worshipping idols. Why? Because it's perfect Hashgacha, and the Chayes of the Eibush, the Shem Omalei Kalel, the Eibush's energy is in the person who's cursing. Now, the Rebbe went into the Halariches, at the Chayes Alakiyas and everything, and it's called Shechina, and Dvaravaya, and so forth. And the Chiddush of Chassidus, of course, is that there's Alakus and everything, even in Klipa, and it's B'chol Rega V'Rega. Now, yesterday the Alter Rebbe made 2 points about the Igeres HaKedesh. First of all, that there's a misused word. It says the Lashon Sharsa, it should say the Lashon Kislapsha, right? And second of all, that it's acceptable to say that the Shechina, that the Chayes of Klipa, the Shechina, just that you could say that a Malach is called the Lakus because he's doing a Shlichus. Now the Alter Rebbe says, it's my opinion, that the emes is the diak that I just made, that it shouldn't say Sharsa, it should say Hislapsha. I don't even think that's what the Mesnagdim were concerned about, because it's a small difference. Ella, what was the issue that the Mesnagdim had primarily? It's Me'iker Inyan, Hislapshos, Hashchina, the Klipas. The basic idea that Shechina goes into Klipas. In other words, that even Ra, and even a person of Bechira Chavshis, every Rega the Eibush is creating him and giving him his Metzias in his life, and therefore, Allah Nidin Kvanigzim in Hashemayim. Says the Alter Rebbe, She'ein lehem emunah b'mashakasav Arizal. They don't have emunah in what Arizal writes, but Sefer HaGegulim in Kabbalah. She'em Yitzu, right? And Arizal says that everything is Chayes Alaki. What was the Tanya of the Misnagdim? She'em Yitzu l'chalad. If the Misnagdim wish to distinguish between Klipas HaRuchnim L'Musaylam HaGashmi, between Ruchnizik Klipas and Gashmizik Klipas, and say, in the Ruchnizik Klipas, which is called Maiga, they agree that there is a Ha'ara of Kaf. In other words, a connection to Alakus.
Only based on Arizal,
I suppose. I never read their Shita, I don't know it. In Gashmizik Klipas, they're saying that there's a Pirud. The Torah comes from the Kav, but now it's only Klipa. There's no hand of Hashem in what Klipa is. Says the Alter Rebbe, Ein lecha Gashmi kafar haaretz. It wouldn't exist. The Eibush would not be creating and sustaining Gashmis and Klipa every single instant. It simply would not exist. Right? The Afal Pikein, and at the same time, Mislabeshes boy in the Chayes Alaki, which Hashem gives to Reda Gashmi, is revealed Malchus, the Asiya, in other words, the lowest level from the 10 spheres, which are Lakus and the Kav, Ubetecha Malchus, the Yetzirah V'choli, the Canal, till Atzilus, and till Ein Sof. In every place in Ishtashalus, this Chayes Alaki, through the chain reaction of worlds. Even though there's very, very low world, even in the lowest world is the Chayes Alaki. Okay, now this point that the Alter Rebbe just made, you have in Tanya in several places. In several places in Tanya, the Alter Rebbe has a Hagah where he makes this point. It's an Hagah on Perek Vav, and this Hagah is someplace else, for sure. I think it's in Sharich HaDemunah. It's the Hagah of Perek Vav. Look at the Hagah, you'll see right away what he says. And the essential message of the Hagah is that there's Chayes Alaki and Klipa through Hishtalshalos. This Hagah exists someplace else, I just can't find it. But you see the Hagah, that B'teicha Esfir is the Asiya, right? Or B'teicha the Asiya, you have Esfir is the Yetzirah, and Esfir is the Bria, the Esfir is the Atzilus, and then you say Baruch Hu Mamish. This Hagah is the basic point that the Alter Rebbe is making here, that Klipas have a Chayes. Okay? This is what he says. V'afal pikein, still going back to us now. Mislabeshes bei Malchus, the Malchus Asiya, or B'teicha Malchus the Yetzirah v'chol v'kanal. In other words, we hold that everything that exists, Hashem gives Chayes to, and the Chayes that Hashem gives, it's connected to the Kav till Ein Sof. Okay, if your concern is because of the tumah of the souls of the Goyim, their physical neshamas come from Ruchnizik Klipas. So over there too, there's no shaila because they apparently agreed that a Ruchnizik Klipas is Chayes Alaki. Nimta, so it turns out the source of the tumah is Ruchnius, and they agree that there's a connection between Ruchnius, the Ketumas, and Alakus. So the Rebbe says the Gashmis, the Klipas are the same thing. And he repeats a second time. Ach be'emes, I'm willing to admit that tzarech bi'er rochav eichu islap shizu. I agree that the emes is it really, really needs to be explained. The concept, they have the exact same words on Kuf Mem on the base. The concept of this idea that even the lowest klippas, the Eibishter's kav, is manifest and is involved. However, the Taina shouldn't be on us. It's the writing of the Arizal. The Arizal was the one who said that everything has an neshama and that it's connected to the kav. And the one who is hearing this should not suspect me. That I think about myself. That I properly understood the words of the Arizal. To strip them away from their Gashmizik form. I didn't come here to teach Kabbalah. To explain the words of the Heilig Baal Shem Tov is Talmidim. That you should see that it's Alpi Kabbalah Arizal. It's according to Kabbalah Arizal. And therefore, since the Baal Arizal, back off on the Baal Shem Tov. You want to start with Arizal? I dare you. Mit Arizal chapter man sich nicht. But it's not the Baal Shem Tov. That's number one. Number two, B'Shagam, no moreover. So this idea that the Eibishter is highest to everything and the Eibishter is invested in everything, it's not Kabbalah B'chal. And it's not from those secrets, it's only known to the Eibishter. The idea of Hashgacha Pratis, the idea of Chayas Eliki be involved in everything it's common sense. Lanu ulevanenu, to us and to our children, lahamin amuna shleima, to believe with a perfect faith. B'mikra molish dibar akosav, what the explicit Sukkim of the Torah says, and here he brings already the Indian of Tzimtzum. Of Shleika Pshuta, Hariyas Hashmayim, Vesa'aras Anim Molid Umavayah. The Eibush says, I feel heaven and earth. Now remember, this Egeres HaKedesh has been talking to us about Achtos Mitzad Kav. As the Shemaim Vesa'aras Anim Molid, but Pashtus is talking about Sefer Kalaman, about the symptoms. So since it's a Fedish Apostle, and it doesn't say the Lashon. Leis, Asar, Poni, Minei, there's no place the Eibush is, so obviously, everything is Holocaust. This pasuk should not be taken out of its literal context that the Eibush is involved in it. V'gam, moreover, hiyamuna pshuta, it's simple faith. Everybody knows this, bepashtus, bistam, without any doubt, in Kol Yisrael, in the Jewish people as a whole. U'mesura miyodam yaviseim hakadoshim, it's given over to them from their holy fathers. Shaholchu b'tmimasim Hashem, they went with the Eibush with the sincerity and the simplicity. Without philosophizing, using their human intellect, inyan alakus, the idea of godliness, beyond human comprehension. Then gets an infinite way. How godliness fills up the whole world. And yes, there's a tzimtzum, right? So, in other words, the tzimtzum is like a dilemma. People just accept it as a face value. The Eibush is everywhere, even though there's Bechira Choshes, even though there's Klippa. The calf is connected even to the lowest klippas, even though it's klip. Recently, people got smart to do research on this philosophical question: how could Elokus be in Makam HaKlippas and yet klippas klippa? How could the calf be machaya everything b'chol rega v'rega and it should be klippa? Now, if you wanted to explain it to these Chadashim Mikarav, who insist on explaining philosophically the issue of Tzimtzum Shleika Pshuta, and the Inyan of Chayat Alaki being invested in Pnimis in every creation, even in Klippa, you have to have a background in Kabbalah, Mufshatis Megashmius, and removed from Gashmius. Like my Rabbeim, the Maggid, the Baal Shem Tov explained to me the Inyan of Shatas Advarim Megashmiusim, that if you want to understand these things correctly, you have to strip them away from the Gashmius form. This for sure, I cannot explain it in a letter. It was to explain the secrets of Kabbalah and Achdas Hashem and Tzimtzum Shleika Pshuta. I can't write it down. I can say it to a person who knows how to listen. To the individual, to the special people. Top of Kufman Beis now. And to the rare ones. The Eibush called. As the Pasuk says, those who look for the Eibush to understand everything. But it is understood also that most people are not in that position. And therefore the Alter Rebbe says, I have defended the Baal Shem Tov And in one sentence, what was the defense of the Baal Shem Tov? That it's not lo yaleinu t'lereseichem kiyim or kitzvei Arizal. That Arizal teaches us the chayitz al-kiyah and everything, and it's connected to the Kaaba Hashgacha Pratis. So Alter Rebbe finishes. Hine, atem re'isayim. I've just shown you Pirush Ma'amerech, the interpretation of one statement. Mitzvarim hayeduim, from the famous books, Ledugma Liyes, as a sign and as an example, or as an example and as a sign. Shigam kol ha'ma'amorim matnuim. Also the other wondrous Maimon that you don't understand, Yeshlam Pirush or Biyir Heitev, and a good explanation. Ach, says the Alter Rebbe, however, you shouldn't expect from me to explain all of your questions in letters. It's a heavy and a lot of work. It's impossible. If you wish, send one special person from your community. And I'll speak to him face to face in Yitzhak. The will be with me as I talk. My words should be accepted favorably. So the Alter Rebbe says two things I cannot explain about in a letter. I can't explain all the kashas the Misnagdim had and all the tales of the Baal Shem Tov. And I can't explain the issue of Achdas Hashem and Tzimtzum Shleki Pshuta in the face of Klippa, B'chalal. In a letter, if you want to know, send a person. This is the Yossi Kiddush. Clear? Okay?